Welcome to Inside SAU Athletics. I'm Kaden Smith.
And I'm Will Spriggs. On this week's episode, we're recapping the men's and women's swimming and diving season.
The swimming and diving teams wrapped up their seasons this past weekend at the NAIA Championship in Columbus, Georgia. Both the men's and women's teams finished in the top half of the competition, with the men's finishing 7th out of 27 teams and the women at 11 out of individual standouts, including sophomores Brand Mess, Juan Gomez, who earned All-American honors. And on the women's side, sophomores Kate Zuko and Lorraine Antonzes and freshman Irene Artabe took home All-American honors.
Joining us today is head coach of the men's and women's swimming and diving programs, Rob Miecznikowski. Thanks for being with us today, Coach.
Glad to be here.
Coach, you just wrapped up your season with multiple All-American finishers at the NAIA Championships. What does that mean to you?
Well, that's our goal. The whole season is built around the national championship meet. I know a lot of teams focus on conference championships or things like that. We tend to aim beyond that. Nationals is our team goal for this year. And so, we finished very well, and I'm pleased with that.
Both the men's and women's teams finished in the top half of the final standings. What does that mean to the program as a whole?
Well, every year we try to improve. And I think we tied exactly what we did last year. So on that aspect, we're improving every year, but so is everybody else. So we are constantly looking at ways to improve, and we want to break into the top 5. And that's our goal for the program. And we're going to keep. I think we're definitely on track for that. So
as you finish your 6th season leading the program, what are you most proud of?
Honestly, I think the thing that I'm most proud of is our students' academic performance. Our girls finished with a 3.58 cumulative GPA. The men were a 3.72. They led the NAIA conference with the highest GPA, and they were also the 7th highest nationally. Division 1, 2, 3, NAIA. It goes, if I got this off the top of my head, I'm pretty sure it's MIT, Williams College, Johns Hopkins, Pomona Pitzer, Wash U, and then there's one other in there, but then we tied with Caltech for the 7th highest GPA in the nation. Right. That makes it a lot easier for us to recruit as well, because I'm not looking to recruit D1 athletes. I'm looking for those top D3, D2 athletes that want to focus on their education. And I'm as proud of what they do in the classroom as I am of what they do in the pool.
Looking ahead, what are the team goals going into next year?
Well, I think definitely team goal is to, we won both men's and women's conference championships this year. That's a given. We want to repeat that. Right. I would like to have both the men and women break into the top 5 at nationals. I think that's a good goal. Our long-term goal is to win a national championship. I wouldn't have taken the job if that wasn't my goal. If we can break into the top 5 next year, we'll be definitely right on track. That's the goal.
Thanks again, Coach. Congratulations on a great season.
Thank you.
Coming up next on Inside SAU Athletics, Kaden Smith sits down with freshman Bridget O'Grady. We'll be right back.
Tune in to KALA and hear something different. Programming that celebrates the diversity of our listeners. We're advocates for the arts, showcasing your favorite music from around the world. We're storytellers, producing award-winning news and educational podcasts. We're dedicated sports fans, bringing you the latest Fighting Bee action from St. Ambrose University. We're a learning lab, mentoring the next generation of broadcasters and content creators. A part of your community for 5 decades. We're KALA Radio, 88.5 FM and 106.1 FM. Turn it on and turn it up.
Welcome back to Inside SAU Athletics. Joining us now is Bridget O'Grady of the swimming and diving team. Thanks for joining us today, Bridget.
Thank you for having me.
You just got back from competing in the NAIA Championship for the first time. Describe what it's like to be on that stage.
It's a lot different. You go from most of our meets were just dual meets with different colleges. So I would say the biggest difference is the audience. You obviously have a lot bigger of an audience, and you have a lot more teams to go against, and they're taking, the top athletes from each school that go to nationals. You have to qualify. So it's definitely a lot different because just the competition was a lot harder, but it's also good because it pushes you to do better and your performance is better.
What is the biggest difference swimming at the college level compared to the high school level?
The There's a lot of similarities. I don't know so much differences, but I'd say just that the team, for me personally, was a lot different. It's just such a positive team here, and everyone encouraged each other to do their best. And
What are your personal goals in the next few years competing at St. Ambrose?
I would like to, at nationals, I would like to place in the top 8. So that means like getting in the pool next year and just really training harder and working on technique to improve my stroke next year to help me get through the water faster. And just at nationals, placing higher.
Okay. Thanks again, Bridget. Congrats on your season.
Thank you.
Coming up next on Inside SAU Athletics, Will Spriggs will sit down with senior Grant Nelson. Stay tuned.
From the campus of St. Ambrose University,
this is ATC5 Dateline.
Welcome to tonight's edition of TV 11's Dateline.
Welcome to this week's edition of Dateline SAU.
Most of you probably took advantage of the opportunity to view Tuesday's solar eclipse. Well, members of the St. Ambrose community didn't want to miss out on the relatively rare astronomical event either. Students, faculty, and staff used recommended makeshift viewing devices to view the eclipse, and they found that one of the best ways was to project the image of the sun onto a piece of white cardboard through a small hole in another piece of cardboard. TV 11 even videotaped the eclipse using a TV camera and several layers of filters. Solar eclipses occur when the sun, the moon, and the earth line up, with the moon appearing to briefly cover the sun.
Welcome back to Inside SAU Athletics. Joining us now is Grant Nelson of the swimming and diving team. Thanks for being here, Grant.
Thank you, appreciate it.
Your 800 freestyle relay finished 8th last weekend in Columbus. Tell me about what that group and what you liked about competing with them.
Yeah, I've trained with those guys all year. Some of them ever since I came to the school. So that big relay was my last relay, my season, and potentially my career, and it was just a good moment to have a good last swim with like some of my best friends.
As a senior, what are you most proud of in your time here at St. Ambrose?
I think I'm most proud of watching the team grow from recruits, all of my friends, even myself, dropping times, placing higher at nationals, competing with some of the best swimmers in the country, and just seeing how much we're capable of doing. As well as, inside school as well. As previously said, our academics were incredibly good this year, and we look past school and past athletics to careers beyond just the team.
What is it about the SAU swimming and diving program that separates itself and makes it a great team to be a part of?
I know that people say it a lot, but it truly is a family. I feel like I can come to anyone with anything, especially my coaches. They're always there for me. They support me, push me to be better, but they also understand that there's more than life than just athletics. But we take our sport very seriously. We do good in school, and we just like to have a good time while we're here.
Thanks again, Grant, and congrats on your season.
Thank you.
That's all we have for you on this edition of Inside SAU Athletics. Join us next week when we're talking to members of the SAU cheer and dance team. Remember to check out the SAUtv Facebook and Instagram pages for our latest episodes, game highlights, interviews, and more. You can also find them on the Hive at saubuzz.com. Thanks for watching.